A huge black sail appeared on the horizon, and to heighten their prestige, Bernard Stam and John Le Cam indulged in a final pleasure, hoisting the spinnaker for the last few miles. Under a subtle golden light, Cheminée Pujolas was proclaimed champion of the Barcelona World Race on crossing the finish line 10 minutes before 8 p.m. After 84 days, 5 hours and 50 minutes at sea, after circumnavigating the globe and the oceans, and rounding the 3 major capes, after eating up 27,950 nautical miles at an average speed of 13.8 knots.
Tant qu'on n'a pas passé la ligne, il peut toujours se passer quelque chose. C'est quand même un sport mécanique, donc il peut y avoir des soucis de dernière minute. Et bon, là, ça c'est bien fini, mais on a toujours ça à l'esprit quand même, quoi. Que la ligne, quand elle n'est pas franchie, elle n'est pas franchie. Ça, il ne faut jamais oublier.
On a eu un sud très venté. On a eu du vent quasi tout le temps. Et on s'est dit, on arrive là et puis on reprend 35 nœuds auprès. Et finalement, ça passe et puis on finit par mettre le spi et puis arriver et puis c'est nickel. Hein.
En plus, une arrivée sous spi juste avant la tombée de la nuit, c'est parfait, quoi. On peut pas rêver mieux, beau temps. Ouais. Ah ouais, regarde, il fait beau là et puis voilà, les nuages sont
bien, il y a des nuages. Ça s'est plutôt bien passé quasi tout le long. On est parti d'ici, c'était un beau départ, quoi. Et après, on arrive, c'était une belle arrivée. Et voilà, on est content, quoi. Heureux, quoi.
They left the Catalan capital the 31st of December, and the 16th of January, already in the South Atlantic, Bernard Stam and John Le Cam positioned themselves as leaders in the regatta. Untouchable, the Helvetian-French duo proved to be the strongest contender until the very end, leaders for 68 days.
On a eu pas mal de soucis techniques, mais ça s'est sûrement pas vu, quoi. Voilà, les gens pensaient que ça roulait, tout roulait, qu'on faisait notre route sans souci, mais je crois pas qu'il s'est passé un jour sans qu'il y ait un truc qui foirait, quoi. On a fait le tiers du tour du monde avec une girouette sur un mâtreau derrière qu'on changeait de côté.
Et maintenant il y a un câble extérieur.
Voilà. En fait tout ça, voilà, et ça fait que c'était un beau travail d'équipe.
Ouais. C'est surtout que Bernard il s'est bien monté au mât parce que je crois que je pense que cette course-là, ce qu'on se disait avec Bernard, c'est que si ça avait été en solitaire, je pense que le bateau il serait pas là et ça l'aurait pas fait. Heureusement qu'on était deux. C'est très différent quand même en double que le Vendée Globe, mais c'est très enrichissant, quoi. C'est une belle aventure.
Il y a des fois où on n'arrive plus à réfléchir, où on est fatigué, où là il y a quelqu'un qui remplace et après quand on a des soucis à régler, on est deux à réfléchir, on vit ensemble, on échange, donc c'est forcément plus enrichissant que de tourner en rond tout seul, c'est sûr.
Among the greatest in worldwide ocean sailing, combining seasoned expertise with an extensive list of achievements, the 2 veteran sailors simply did their job.
So welcome then to Barcelona. It is the day after the Cheminée Pujolas finish. A great evening was had by all. Nobody has seen Jean Le Cam and Bernard Stam as yet. They certainly enjoyed their celebrations long into the evening. It's a beautiful day here, and of course the race carries on. We're joined again by Pierre-François Bonneau. Pierre-François, you were on the water for the finish yesterday. What was it like?
It was quite incredible, and because on the water, the rain had stopped just for the arrival of Cheminée Pujolas, and we had a beautiful sunset with the boat coming with the spinnaker. It was incredible, very, very beautiful pictures on the water.
And always a much more powerful moment when you know that they didn't stop at all, a complete circumnavigation non-stop.
Yes, that's the most important part of the success, because they succeed to work on the boat, to repair all the troubles they had during the race without any stop, and that was exactly what they wanted to do.
Indeed, the race does, of course, carry on, PF. We still have plenty of boats on the water, and we'll have a look at the fly past of the fleet as it stands today. So first up, we see Chamonix Pujala coming in last night. Quite light winds in the end, but they did well to get into the finish just as dusk was falling in a light southeasterly breeze, just missing out on that northeasterly. Meantime, Neutrogena, north of the Canary Islands, closing to the African coast in the northeasterly trade winds. Gaius a little bit further behind than lighter breeze, and this battle going on between the two Catalan Imoca 60s. 150 miles of lateral separation now between One Planet, One Ocean in the west and We Are Water in the east. Off the northeast corner of Brazil, and Renault Captur are now into a stronger southeasterly trade wind, making good progress towards the doldrums, which they are just getting into just now. And Spirit of Hungary in southwesterly breezes, southeasterly breezes, and just having a little bit problems in lighter winds today. So PF, a few more words about Jean Le Cam and Bernard Stam. I mean, what does this victory mean for them? Of course, Jean Le Cam becomes world champion.
Yes, that's important because for Jean Le Cam, it's a way to be world champion. It's the first time he win around the race, a race around the world. For Bernard, it's not the first time because he won twice around alone. He beat the record on Orange, and now that's the first time for Bernard just to win and to do performance. But for him it was really important because he had a lot of troubles last year, and that's a good way for him to finish this world race.
Indeed, PF. And we look at the rankings as the race stands at the moment. Of course, Chamonix Pujala arrived last night in first place. Neutrogena in second, 783 miles to the finish, about 200 miles to Gibraltar at the moment. Gaius Centris Auditivus in third, 329 miles behind. One Planet, One Ocean and We Are Water then next. We Are Water sailed about 9 miles more over the last 24 hours. A Renault sailed a 266-mile day until 9 o'clock this morning, quickest in the fleet at the moment. And Spirit of Hungary, 233-mile day and averaging 9.7 knots, but still got a fair bit to go for Spirit of Hungary. How will they be feeling now, PF? Spirit of Hungary a long way back, and just looking at the finish yesterday.
I think that for Spirit of Hungary, actually, the question is just to try to do the race and not to worry about what's happening in Barcelona or something like that. So they just send, like all the other boats, a word of congratulations because the performance of Jean Le Cam and Bernard Stam is a very, very big one. It's more than 8 days than the previous record in the race, so it's really important.
Indeed, a different course, though, this time. I think it's just under 2,000 miles shorter. But Gaius Centris Auditivus going well. They're lost out a little bit in terms of mileage to Neutrogena. Neutrogena have slightly more breeze in this northeasterly trades. They've been going a little bit quicker. And Gaius Centris Auditivus just losing just a few miles day by day. Problem for Anna Corbea. She hurt her knee a few days ago. But we did speak with Gerard Morin, her co-skipper, and he reported that things are going rather better. She's taking it easy and recovering, and this is what Gerard had to say when he spoke to us today.
Com es troba l'Anna?
Bé, prou bé, el que hi ha és mobilitat, però bueno, el que cal està prou bé.
Gerard, com estàs portant tu? T'està ajudant a la maniobra?
No, de moment ho estic fent jo sol, perquè ella podria fer alguna coseta, però no creiem que valgui la pena. De moment tenim tot el màxim que és de senyir amb això, i són guiades només, que són maniobres bastant fàcils, i de moment ho he fet molt.
Gerard, és una senyida tranquil·la aquesta? Teniu molts pantocassos?
Bueno, ara l'última setmana ha millorat moltíssim, però sí que va variant, no? Portem els 2 mesos anteriors a la tropical al concurs, havíem de frenar una miqueta i era terrible. Des d'aquest viatge últim de Picó, doncs el mar ha millorat i va ser que feia així.
Com veieu, Gerard, l'aproximació a Gibraltar?
Bueno, ara no ens queda massa, és bastant senzilla. En principi, els últims ja es confirmen i és arribar a la costa africana, mirar, i quan arribem a l'alçada de Regatta, més o menys, navegar i acabar les 3. En principi no és complicat. Tindrem una mica de vent d'aquí unes hores, però bueno, el marge màxim són 24 nusos, potser seran 28 unes horetes, però bueno, no serà complicat.
Gerard, ahir vam rebre aquí al Ximeners Puigdemont algun missatge de felicitació?
Home, realment nosaltres hem admirat, no havia fet una nata brutal, ens fan moltíssima enveja que s'estiguin a Barcelona i, escolta, podem sentir un moment que s'ho mereixen, no? Fet un regatón i, escolta, una gent que té una setmana clarament arribada, doncs, ens no troba res, no?
So Gerard Moran there, the co-skipper on Gaius Centros Auditivos, very much in solo mode at the moment, perhaps in training for the Vendée Globe. Anna Corbea recovering. PF, a few words about the race of Gaius Centros Auditivos. They left Barcelona saying that if they finished on the podium, they'd be very happy. They look to be on course.
Yes, they did a big race, and it's important just to compare, because 4 years ago Gerard and Anna were on two different boats, but the race they are doing this year can't be compared with the race they did 4 years ago. They had big progress, and it's really impressive.
Indeed, and I think Gerard, perhaps an overlooked talent, certainly a very fast sailor. When we spoke with Anna before the start of the race, she was saying how quickly Gerard drove the boat.
Yes, that's one of the points which is really impressive. It's to see they go fast, they go in the good direction, and they learn to maneuver, and now they maneuver very well. So it's not really. Now we can say it's not really a surprise to see them on the podium.
Now we can. Anyway, thanks, PF. We'll have a look at the weather situation for the fleet as it stands at the moment with our good friends from Race Direction.
Hello, this is the weather forecast for the Barcelona World Race from the race management. We have here Neutrogena making their way towards Cap Gibraltar, 290 miles, and they're now sailing with a pretty decent northeast wind blowing up to 20 knots. Behind them we see here Gaius. Right now they're sailing between the Canary Islands and Madeira, and they have as well a northeast wind blowing 15-20 knots as they're making their way on the northeast, heading east towards the African coast for the moment. One Planet, One Ocean, and We Are Water left the doldrum bend that we can see here on the screen. They are now making their way towards the northwest heading. We see that One Planet, One Ocean Farmaton has a wind blowing from the northeast, blowing 10 to 15 knots, and We Are Water here took an option sailing a bit more west-northwest, and where they can find some better conditions with the east wind. And the more they will head to the north, the eastern, the wind will blow, so better angle to keep their pace up north. Here's the situation at 9 o'clock this morning for Renault Capture and Spirit of Hungary. We see at the moment that they're making their way, Renault Capture very close to the shore, making their way towards the doldrum area. And they have a southeast wind blowing 10-15 knots, 10 knots at the moment. Spirit of Hungary here, southeast wind as well. And the wind is blowing 5 to 10 knots, so pretty light conditions. Situation for Renault Capture tonight is that we see the bend of doldrum area, leaving some space for them to make their way up north with the east wind, so quite good conditions for them coming, but for Spirit of Hungary, unfortunately, they're going to have some upwind conditions starting 10 o'clock tonight.
So international model, surfer, and sometime race assistant race director Hubert Lemonnier with the weather there. Situation looking fairly decent for Renault Captur in particular, going across the doldrums, and also good for Neutrogena at the moment, coming towards Gibraltar. Expecting them late tomorrow or early Saturday. PF, just a few final words about last night and the finish. We're going to look at some of the images. What did it mean to you to be out there watching the finish?
Well, you know, it's quite always the same thing when they arrive. It's a very, very special moment because they've been 3 months on the water, 3 months without seeing anything. And now, just in a few minutes, there is the families, friends, the press, all the people around them. And I think that for them, the change is so brutal. It's incredible for them.
It's a return to earth, isn't it? And what do you think of them as a partnership? Did they end up friends? I mean, they said that they certainly had one or two harsh words at times in the heat of the moment, but they dealt with it quite nicely. And the other important thing, I think, was way back in Paris at the Salon Nautique, they said that the only way to work this race is to park your ego, leave your ego on the dock, and I think they did that.
Yes, they did it, and they did it very well, in fact.
So anyway, we're going to look at some images. Join us again tomorrow. These are the best of the images from last night by our race photographer, Gilles Martin Rager.